Hi there. Thank you for your interest in our lymphatic body contouring services. My name is Dr. Ravi, the lymph doctor, and I would like to quickly explain a little bit about the anatomy of the lymphatic system so that you understand the benefits that's possible for your personal health situation. We're also going to go over the service details and what makes me different or my services different than any other lymphatic service available. And we'll also go over the pricing and how to get scheduled as far as availability. And so thanks for joining us on this quick video, and let's just jump right in. There are essentially four main layers to the lymphatic system. The first one is what you're going to see when you look up a picture of the anatomy of the lymph. It's the deep nodes and pathways. It connects to every single organ, including your gut. And fluid in this part of the system can only move forwards. There's little mechanisms in place that prevent it from moving backwards. And so, what that means is as soon as something is not draining correctly, it's not just fluid and toxins backing up, it's pressurized like when you kink a hose. And so, the fluid, toxins, and pressure then goes through all four layers and causes different issues in each layer. And so, in that first layer, the first two things that happen are all of our hormones get thrown into chaos. We don't just have reproductive hormones, we have hormones for sleep, mood, vision, energy, stress, digestion, you name it. And so, all of those things start performing less optimally right off the bat. We also have what I call switches in the gut for metabolism, digestion, water absorption, and nutrient absorption. And those all get turned off. So you could be eating the cleanest diet ever, eating $1,000 worth of vitamins every day, and drinking all of the water, and it could pretty much be going straight through you. And you wouldn't even really know it until we turn those things back on. And then all of a sudden, you feel a million times better, even though we didn't really change anything yet, because your body can better use what you're putting in it in the first place. Everything in the lymphatic system drains towards the left side of the sternum, and 1/3 of our system is actually in our head, neck, and face, and the second layer is inside of the brain. And so when the sternum is not draining correctly, our head starts filling up like a balloon, and that can cause everything from neck and shoulder tension and pain to increased headaches, allergies, migraines, anxiety, depression, ADHD, brain fog, memory issues, even things like vertigo, tinnitus, bipolar, and borderline personality disorder. I have worked with clients that were on the highest doses of all of those medications for over 40 years that were able to go completely off in as little as 1 to 3 sessions. Any of the benefits that we're talking about can be like peeling an onion, where things are getting less intense and farther between, but I have seen them all quantum leap more times than I can even count. The third layer is in the interstitial space. And what that means is between muscles and fascia, inside of joints, and then around the outside of the organs. And so when this is not draining correctly, it causes what I call toxic water balloons to start filling up. Those can be little between joints and vertebrae, causing things to not quite sit or function right, leaving you more prone to injury and causing old injuries to take way longer to heal than they would otherwise. But those can also be much bigger. If you imagine a standard water balloon underneath your quad muscle, your leg is going to be a bigger size and a different shape than it would be if that was not there. So as we get that out of there, it can improve your physical performance, your athletic ability, because if a 4-inch muscle now has to stretch 6 inches over this toxic water balloon, of course it's going to be tight and sore and angry. You're also not going to get a full contraction or a full extension, whether that's just in your day-to-day life or if you are working out in the gym, it can take a million times longer to actually see results. So as we get that out of there, the muscle works much better. Our posture and joints work much better, so we have more range of motion. Our body is lighter, so we're lighter on our feet. We're increasing your capacity to take big, deep, comfortable breaths. And so that's increasing the oxygen, which increases your physical performance and output. But we are, by removing those toxic water balloons in the muscles and joints, we're allowing you to lift heavier, work out more days in a row without soreness, do more reps, do more types of exercises and activities, and in general, just want to be more active, both in the desire and your ability. All of that starts improving naturally very quickly when we get the toxic fluid out of these layers where it doesn't belong. We have about 50 of those water balloons between our collarbones and our hips. When that starts getting full, the only direction to go is out. And so our hips and our ribs physically start spreading farther apart than they would if those water balloons were not there, which ends up leaving us wearing a bigger size of clothing than we would naturally. And so I don't guarantee weight loss, but I have had clients lose as much as 10 pounds in a single session, 25 pounds in 3. I have a girl that's lost 35 pounds in 4 right now. And I have a woman that went from a size 12 to a size 4 in 6 sessions without any loose skin afterwards. So it can be extremely dramatic. The very last layer is right underneath the skin. This is what causes loose skin, sagging skin, cellulite, all signs of aging in the face and body, and all skin conditions ranging from dry skin and oily skin all the way to rosacea, psoriasis, and eczema. When we have too many toxins in that layer, our skin is either reacting to those toxins or trying to purge them out. And our skin is a living organ. It wants to anchor into healthy muscle. But the problem is those anchors are not very long. And so when there's too much fluid in there, those anchors can't reach anything. And then our skin has to just keep stretching and stretching, trying to find somewhere to hold on to. And so as we get that out of there, the tightening and toning of the skin, the visible health of the skin, and the anti-aging effects are all usually extremely visible in every single set of before and after photos. I will explain a little bit more about the pictures in just a minute, but there is a very big difference between me and if you go book a lymph massage basically anywhere else. Usually what you would experience is being undressed underneath the sheets like you would for a normal massage. They're probably going to leave you face up the entire time. There's no lotion, no oil. It's a very light pressure. It's only about 5 grams of pressure, and they're not really doing any strokes. They're mostly just holding certain points between the collarbones and the hips. They're mostly just working with that first layer, which is great. We do need to open that up, but they're pretty much ignoring the other 3 layers, which is where up to 95% of the problem actually is. And so the results are very limited. And the most common feedback from clients when they get that kind of massage is it was relaxing. I don't really know if it did anything, and I don't feel like I got a massage. And so I hated hearing that feedback because I'm actually among the highest trained massage therapists in the world. I've been doing this full time now for over 19 years, and I learned lymph 6 or 7 years into my career. So I was already a deep tissue and rehabilitative therapist for car accidents, injuries, and athletes. And so I really hated that feedback. And so I decided I was going to start combining the best lymph techniques with the best other massage techniques. And I ended up creating my own protocol over 10 years ago. And that is what I have been doing full time ever since. And so all of my sessions are 2 hours long. The first one is a little bit different because we spend about 30 to 45 minutes going super deep into your health history so that I can explain how anything that you've dealt with in the past or present relates to your lymphatic system. So you'll understand all the benefits that's possible for your personal situation. And then you do get your first hour of hands-on time. That is a head to toe full body treatment. We do full body dry brushing, full body cupping, and then a full body lymphatically oriented massage. There's nothing about that that needs to be painful or uncomfortable. If you've ever had cupping done or seen it online, you're not going to have any markings or anything like that. Most of my clients usually fall asleep and snore very loud, even if you don't snore in normal life, because we are sedating your central nervous system and resetting your cortisol levels. And so your brain and body gets to set down all of the stress that you've been carrying for typically your entire life when you've never had any kind of real lymph work before. And so your brain and body takes full advantage of that. And that's one reason why sleep, mood, and energy are usually some of the fastest things to start changing. At the end of that appointment, before you leave, you will get your first set of before and after photos. That does include the face, the front of the body, and the back of the body. And in 10 years of me doing this protocol full time, I have never had a single client that did not have head to toe full body changes. So you will see head to toe changes in that very first session. Typically, the value of this appointment is $450. But if you're coming in off of my ad right now, we're actually doing a huge discount. And so you actually just get it for $200. We will do $95 down as a non-refundable deposit. That holds your spot on the calendar. It does cover the no-show fee, and it does go towards your total. And so at the time of service, it would just be 105. And then if you ended up wanting to move forward, what we usually do is start you with a series of 6. Those are all 2 hours of hands-on time, so it's a longer massage. We aim for those to be about once a week for ideal results, but they can be a little bit closer together or farther apart if needed. And then you do get some bonuses with that. So you do get a dry brush to take home, and I'll show you how to use it. And you will also get lifetime access to my online course library as soon as that's live. I actually have about 22 sets of letters behind my name in the field of holistic health. So I am a nutritionist, a health coach, life coach, energy worker, hypnotherapist, all kinds of things. And so inside of that online program, there's all kinds of tools and resources to help you get more results and to also help you get transformation in really any other area of your life. There's also over 600 recipes in there. And so anyone who has done the series of 6 with me will get lifetime access to that as soon as it's live. Typically, the value of that program with the 12 hours of body work and all of the bonuses is $5,000. But right now, coming in off the ad, you guys are actually getting it for $1,200. I can usually run HSAs and FSAs without an issue, and I do have an internal payment plan where we can split that into 2 or 3 payments. Those are typically due weekly at the time of service, and so if you end up going that route, you're usually paid in full by the 3rd session. But I never expect anybody to make any decision on the series until you have tried your first appointment. And so if it does sound like something that you're interested in, that would be the next step. I also have a referral program. If you know anyone that you think this might sound like it's a good fit for, they get access to the same discount that you did being a referral when you came in off of the ad. And if they end up signing up for the series, you get a $100 credit per person. And so how that works is 2 referrals will get you a free session. I also do a monthly raffle for a free service, as well as a monthly raffle for a free luxury hotel stay vacation. And so any referrals that you send, even if they just come for one appointment, it does get you extra entries into those raffles. And so once you come in for your first appointment, I'll explain how you can enter those raffles. I cannot wait to meet you in person. and I look forward to having our first conversation where I can learn about your goals and help you really understand how this modality and protocol can help you achieve them faster than you maybe ever thought possible. Have a great day.